We're going to work on some chest techniques today, some deep tissue chest techniques. And if you notice, I took the sheet and put her arm over it so that she feels really secure in there so things don't kind of move around. I might have to move her arm out a little bit so I can get into her pecs a little more specific, but for the most part, this will do. We're not going to use oil. We're going to use a lotion or a cream because oil won't give you the amount of connection you need to make with the tissue. So lotion is your best option. But if you happen to be using oil for some reason and you decide you need to do some deep tissue, just don't use as much or wipe some of it off your hands. So we're always going to do what?
Warm up the tissue.
Right, warm the tissue up with your effleurage strokes. So Jeanette shared with us earlier that there was a few things that have happened, and if you guys come on over here, I want you to see where some of the scar is that she has. And we're going to look at how she's breathing in her body and how her ribs, don't change your breath yet, how her ribs might be expanding or not. So you can see where she had her surgery. And what do you notice about how she's breathing in her thoracic cage?
I see pretty good movement up just right under her clavicles.
Okay, so when she first started, there was very limited movement in the lower portion of the body, okay? But now she's conscious of it, so she's breathing a little bit more, okay? Next thing we're going to do is we want to palpate. Palpate means to feel. We want to feel what's happening in her tissue. Now, in her muscles don't feel really tight on a superficial level, okay? So I don't feel that in her body. But if she's got some scar tissue and we're noticing some restriction, there's got to be some restriction somewhere. So we've got to determine where that is. It might be in her neck more than it is in her chest. So we can go and do the myofascial release technique that we learned the other day on the neck and open it up from there, okay? So first, I'm just going to come in and I'm going to make a nice contact with her pectoralis major. I want to come in with a little bit of compression with the pads of my fingertips. And from the attachment by the sternum all the way over to the shoulder, I'm going to glide from attachment to attachment. And I'm paying attention to what I'm feeling in here. So as I get a little lower, I feel a little more tightness with the same amount of pressure. And I'm going to do that a couple of times. I want to get subclavian right under that clavicle and through the pecs. How's that pressure for you? Good? So we check with our clients and make sure the pressure feels good. So I did it with 3 fingers, a broader area, okay? Then we're going to want to do it with 1 finger. Now, I'm working on the opposite side of the body so you guys can see, but I would be working here, okay? So I can't really use my thumb comfortably here because I'd be doing like that, so I'm going to demonstrate with my finger, okay? I'm going to take my index finger and I'm going to go a little deeper. You feel a change in that pressure? Okay, what does it feel like?
Sharper.
Sharper. Okay, what is that telling me?
Might be fascial. It's sharper. Or
Could
it might be
be.
a trigger point.
Or it might be a trigger point, okay? I'm going to take that pressure under her clavicle, and I want you to describe what that feels like.
Sharper? No, you went over a spot that felt really tender, and then
Okay.
over there it doesn't feel so much.
Okay, so notice how I kept a consistent amount of pressure, but in different regions it felt different. That's what we were talking about earlier, okay? So now I want to determine, does she have a trigger point in that region? Okay, so I'm going to come on this attachment right over here, and I'm just going to do a little bit of cross friction. Does that increase the discomfort at all?
It's fine.
And I'm going to go that way. Does that change it at all?
Yeah, that feels...
Okay, so we need to do both directions to find out where she's getting more of a response. I'm going to come over here where I felt it a little tight, right down in here. Describe that.
That's pretty sharp over there.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what number do we have?
5.
Okay, so it's not terrible. Okay, let's come on over here. How are we doing? Anything changing?
No, I think it's still 5.
Okay. How about when we get out here? Same or less? Until we get to the attachment.
Yeah, the attachment is tender, but it's less.
It's tender. Okay, so see how she's using and describing her words? So I want to listen to my client, and I want to confirm with them that it feels sharp. She didn't say painful, she said sharp. She said tender. I want to use her words. I want her to know that I hear her and I'm using the correct terminology. Very important. Okay, now I'm going to stand over here and I'm going to take my thumb and I'm going to change my angle a little bit. You see that? Before I was going flat. Now I want to change it so that I'm also hitting the other side of the rib. What was that like?
That was
Right
more
in here.
intense.
Okay, so when you say more intense, what number?
Like 7.
Okay, so what do you think we found on here? Okay, so I'm going to hold that. Are you comfortable with that pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it referring anywhere else?
It feels like it's making my back hurt a little
Okay.
bit.
Common, okay? Antagonistic side, referring right through there. So I'm going to hold this, put that little extra stimulus in. What's happening? The message is going up to the brain. Danger, danger, okay? We've got more, influence coming in here. I don't like this. I need to send down and protect this muscle and give it what? Some endorphins. How does it feel now?
Lessening.
Yeah, and I can feel that underneath my thumb. I can feel the change of the tissue beginning to breathe, to soften. How are we doing now?
Good.
What number?
Very light.
Okay,
Nothing.
good. So that's what we want to happen. If she said to me, I don't feel a change, it's getting worse, then I've got to lighten up. Okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do some effleurage and clear that out. I want to break this in seconds.